Welcome to Fit and Bold, where we promote healthy lifestyles. I'm your host, Lakita Goins. Bullying, we've been hearing that word a lot lately. So children are being bullied at school, and according to a survey on Career Builder last year, 37% of workers on their site have reported experiencing bullying in the workplace. The state of Arkansas has even made laws against some types of bullying. However, there is still a long way to go, and there are some serious consequences to bullying. So today we're going to learn what bullying is, how to recognize it, and hopefully how to correct it. So we have here with us today Dr. Rhonda Maddox, the Medical Director for United Family Services. How are you today?
Very well. Thank you for having me.
All right. So give us a general definition of bullying.
Well, it is an intentional act of aggression, generally between people who have kind of disparate levels of power, or at least there's a perception of differences in power. And it can look like teasing, can be verbal, it can be physical, it can be spreading rumors about people, can be more cyberbullying now that we have Facebook and Twitter and those kinds of things.
Right. So I guess bridging from that, I guess we'll start with children. How can you recognize if your child may be suffering from bullying?
Well, just kind of being a detective, paying attention to if they have ripped clothes, if they've normally enjoyed going to school, but now they don't like going to school, if they're having more nightmares, if they come home and they're always hungry, from maybe someone taking their money or their food and those kinds of things. So just really kind of keeping an eye on changes in their behavior that are a little bit out of the ordinary.
Okay, so what can happen if a child is being bullied and it goes unaddressed?
Well, many times you'll see changes in just their interest in school. Children who normally were very happy and loved going to school because they were socialites, now they don't want to go to school, or they're making up excuses. They're acting like they're sick all the time or something like that, so they don't have to go to school. You may notice that kind of a change in their habits in terms of avoiding, they don't want to ride the bus, so they're trying to not have to go to the bus, or they may even start wetting on themselves to avoid going to the bathroom, because the bus, the bathroom, the playground, those are places where many times bullying will happen.
All right, isolated places.
Mm-hmm.
So there are also some parents whose kids are not being bullied but are the bully.
Right.
How do you know if your child is the problem?
Listen, listen to what your children say. I remember being on an outing with some of my younger cousins, and just listening to how aggressively they talked, I realized that these sweet little ones that I thought were just adorable were really, and I hesitate to say bullies, but children who bully, because many times children can actually be in different roles. Maybe they're the victims are the targets of bullying in their household, and then they go to school and they live out what they've seen.
Right.
Many times they're seeing their parents act, demonstrate bullying type behaviors, and they start to model that. Children are, very much visual learners, and so when you start to see a type of behavior, many times that the behavior that looks like bullying is really, if you're very in tune,
Right.
giving you an indicator of what they're either seeing visually on TV or what they're seeing lived out in their own homes.
Okay, so if you feel like your child is maybe initiating some problems, what should parents do?
Well, I would say initially just kind of sit down and talk, and not go in and say you're doing X, Y, Z, but go in and ask open-ended questions, meaning, tell me about,
Right.
I've noticed this, and not from the framework of blaming. As much as you may be very alarmed on the inside, jumping up and down thinking, oh my gosh, my baby's a bully, try to remain calm on the outside, because when they see your exterior, looking like they've done something wrong, they know to color their answers. But if you're, washing dishes or playing cards or driving, and then you're just kind of having this conversation, I noticed that you were, really mean to, this child.
Right.
What was that about? And then asking those questions. and then investigating, because it's not uncommon for children to color what really happened and not tell you the actual truth. And so maybe, kind of talking to their friends or their brothers or siblings and saying, what happened here? What really happened? And worst case scenario, as you're getting these reports home from the teachers, I would say don't jump in and assume that the teacher is lying to you about little Jimmy. Talk to her about what she's seeing, and start to kind of collect information. For me, I always tell the parents, talk to the teacher, find out, is this kind of globally happening with just random people, or is this just a specific child?
Right.
And so, but many times it's just, do the investigative work. Don't just take the word of your sweet, cute little boy and assume they're just telling you, the right thing. We know as people who were formerly children that sometimes we didn't tell our parents the absolute 100% truth. There were some grains of truth in there, but it was a little bit colored.
So on a more serious note, what about the people that have older children? They're over 18, but you notice with this person, they have serious, deep-rooted issues. There's something wrong. You know that they're kind of ticking inside. How do you address that? Because a lot of people don't know. They think there's no way to help a child if they're over 18.
Over 18. I'll tell you, it almost kind of depends on the setting, because as you age out of the childhood and you go into 18, sometimes the things that are happening, are against the law, like hazing or stalking or terroristic threats. What was not necessarily against the law in childhood now is against the law. And so I think that the question was about what to do if you notice, and it's talking about that person exhibiting bullying type behaviors. For that, relationship is everything. And so as you're building relationships, there are certain things that you can say as a mother or as a sister that other people don't have the luxury of doing that, because the relationship may be terminated. As you build relationships with people, you kind of, you can decipher how to go in at times. The other piece, though, is really focusing on how you're noticing that it's damaging the person or their relationships, because sometimes people, don't necessarily see how other people view them, and so just kind of having some conversations and asking, is this limited to this person? Are you aggressive with this person because of X, Y, Z? But just getting more information is a good rule of thumb for a place to start. But it's really important for you as a parent to, to kind of stop the behavior when you're noticing it going on between your children. Sometimes parents are just really overwhelmed and tired, and it's just like, oh, that's what kids do. But it's not acceptable for, an older child to victimize or to extend those kinds of behaviors, because what happens is you will notice that then that child that is being victimized will go to school and demonstrate those same types of behavior to other children. And ultimately, if the parent doesn't step in and kind of and give some strategies, it may be humorous or different things to the child who's doing it and the child who's having it done to them, then many times self-esteem issues develop. Sometimes depression, sometimes anxiety, and we've seen in the news a lot lately people who actually go on to commit suicide because of bullying. And so it's really important to kind of nip it in the bud as best you can very early.
Okay. What about the parents who notice their children have been bullied? What do they do? Because it's some cases where, and I saw a video, where the teacher's assistant was bullying a child with a mental disorder. And what do you do in those kind of situations when you've gone to the principal and they're not doing anything?
Well, in Arkansas, we have laws against bullying. And so, first off, I like to be proactive, and so I like to talk, to the parents about, before it ever happens, just realizing 20% of children or youth who from 9th to 12th grade have been bullied, and 30% of, about 29% of children from 6 to 12 reported being bullying. And so knowing that, you have a third or a fourth of, chance of your child being bullying, and really discussing proactively kind of what to do if this happens. You don't go to the bathroom alone, don't walk alone, those kinds of things. But the other piece is, to, like I said, to investigate, find out what's going on from peers and from different ones. But then plan a meeting with the principal, and the counselor and the teachers, and talk about what's happening and how to prevent, what's happening. And when you go into that meeting, don't go in angry and loud and boisterous and upset. Go in initially asking questions, because you may get more information. And after that, send kind of a summation in an email or a letter saying what your understanding is. And then, follow up and see, is this still occurring or whatever. Right. It's really so, frequently very contingent on what the situation is, that it's kind of difficult to just give a general overview. But the beginning is, talking to your children, being proactive to begin with. After you hear something, not assuming that everything you heard is right, but, doing some more investigating, and then planning a meeting with the school, and following up afterwards. But I would also say be very knowledgeable about the laws in the state, right. And for me, I would also say investigate what your school's policies are related to that, so that you can make sure that you're following not only proper protocol, but following their policy, and make sure they adhere to the policies that they have in those school manuals.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Maddox. Audience, when we return, we're going to be doing our Fit and Bold healthy recipe, because you have to eat healthy to feel healthy. So stay tuned.
Get your ass in. You're not in here.
Yes, I am.
Move. Give it to him hard.
No. Ow.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stab me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how.
Oh, you got...
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
For those dealing with the daily struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. That's why AARP created a community with experts and other caregivers to help us better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
Hi, my name is Danny Andre Burrell II, a senior here majoring in industrial technology, management, and applied engineering. I thought that I would be looking for a job at this point, but thanks to my mentor, Dr. Charles Colin in Career Services, I was able to obtain a position as an industrial engineer upon graduation.
Danny worked hard in class from the beginning, obtaining 3 internships while on campus. UAPB can help prepare students like Danny for those same opportunities.
UAPB prepared me.
Welcome back to Fit and Bold. Today we've been talking about bullying. So now it's time to get some healthy food for our children. So it's always going to be snack time eventually, and these are quick, healthy snacks. So what I'm starting with is just some Cheerios, and I'm going to pour, and I don't have a name for this recipe, by the way. I'm just going to pour some Cheerios in the bowl. Then you have a choice of what to add. It can be applesauce. I recommend something sticky like honey. And I'm gonna pour it over the Cheerios. And I'm just gonna get a good coating. You can also take some dried fruit or even just cut up fresh fruit. and you can add it to the mix. What you're gonna do is mix it until you see it just kind of sticking together like these. And in your kitchen, you want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. You're going to put these onto a foil coated sheet. You're going to bake them for 5 minutes. When it comes out, you'll have a good firm snack for your kids that's also healthy. So that is the world's shortest recipe, but quick and healthy. So stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to be exercising.
Hello, my name is Latasha Cole, recent graduate of the University of Arkansas in Pine Bluff with a degree in Regulatory Science, Industrial Health and Safety. I thought I'd be looking for a job right now, but with the help of my mentor, Alicia Farmer, and Career Services, I was able to land a position as a seed quality supervisor after training.
As a single mother, Latasha's motivation and determination helped her to earn 2 internships while on campus. UAPB can help prepare students like Latasha for the same opportunities.
UAPB prepared me.
Four years ago, I went through something that was very difficult for me. I was faced with a very big challenge at a young age. I didn't want to tell my parents. I really didn't want to tell anybody, and I didn't. I shut down. Once I reached out to my sister, it got a little better. Once I told my mother, it got a little better. The more I talked about it, I felt it coming off. If you're strong enough to just open your mouth, that's all it takes.
Hi, I'm Terry Williams. Can I tell you that it is way past time for us to come face to face with the issue of mental illness in the Black community? Time for us to stop hiding it behind closed doors. Share ourselves. Healing starts with us.
2 outs with a runner on first base. Now the big guy comes off the bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back to Fit and Bold. I'm here today with Mr. Larry Westmoreland, and he's a health coach and a certified nurse. And where do you work from?
I'm with the Mid-South Fitness and Personal Trainers Association, Little Rock, Arkansas.
Okay, and he's also training for a 5K run with the UAPB Athletic Department. So what are you going to have us do today?
Well, we're going to do some exercises today that some people can't run. So we're going to work with the people today who can only walk. We know that knees are bad, so these exercises will give you a good cardio, so when you do your walk workout, you wouldn't have any difficulty, hopefully. But remember, before you start any type of exercise program, consult with your doctor. If you have cholesterol problems, diabetes, or just high blood pressure, problems with your back, make sure you consult with your doctor first before you start.
Right, and you told me, if you don't mind telling the audience, your age.
I'm 61.
61, so audience, no excuses today.
That's right.
Get your workout gear and let's get ready to exercise.
Now before we start, let's get some water. We need lots of water, and we're gonna need a towel, and we're gonna need a folding chair. Those are the only things that we're gonna need, and we're gonna start to sweat.
All right. Okay, show us our warm-up.
Okay, before we get started, make sure we drink some water, okay? All right, here we go, ball in the front. Ball to the side. Okay, now we're gonna switch hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, we're gonna do 10 repetitions, 1 set. Okay, ball. Right hand the ball over the head and back. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, next exercise, ball in the front, ball in the back. Okay, everybody got it? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, next exercise. We're gonna have our right leg up, ball between the legs, ball up. Everybody got it? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, next exercise. Hands on our hips. We're gonna make a 45-degree angle this way and a 45-degree angle like this. Okay? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, ball down. Next exercise. Now you should be starting to get up a little sweat now. I'm starting to sweat, okay? Next exercise, we're gonna do our fingers. Fingers in the front, fingers in the back, okay? Everybody ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, now we should be pretty warm now. Heart should be pumping. Should be feeling pretty good. Okay. All right, now we're gonna get in our chair. All right, next exercise. The first one we're gonna do is that we're gonna ride our bicycle, okay? So we're gonna put our legs up, and we're gonna count to 10. 1, now normally I do 30, but since you're beginners, we're only gonna do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we're gonna take our right leg out. We're gonna place our right heel on our left knee. Okay, everybody got it? We're gonna do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Same exercise, left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right leg up, stir the pot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Same to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now you should start to feel pretty good. I know I do. We're gonna do over and under. Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we should be feeling pretty good now. Next exercise, we're gonna take this right leg out, 45-degree angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Same to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's get a drink of water.
That was a great workout with Mr. Westmoreland. Remember, if you want to participate in Fit and Bold in any way, if you have a recipe, if you want to exercise, or if you're a doctor or a nurse or a healthcare professional, you can email fitandbold@uapb.edu. That's fitandbold@uapb.edu. Remember, getting healthy is a lifestyle journey. You have to just jump in and get started. Remember, get fit and be bold.